You know that person at work, the one who just takes over a room? They're brilliant, they're intense, and yeah, maybe a little intimidating. A real force of nature. We usually call them strong personalities, but today we're going to call them what they really are, lions. And trust me, learning how to lead them is one of the most critical skills you can possibly have as a manager. And that's the paradox, isn't it? It's so true. We say we want these decisive, charismatic leaders, but then when that person actually shows up, and they're demanding and intense, and they're challenging everything, we suddenly freeze up. We realize we have absolutely no idea what to do with them. So let's get specific. Who exactly are we talking about here? Well, the lion profile is that person whose energy literally changes a room. When they walk in, the whole vibe shifts. They speak with this incredible conviction, and they just attract attention. Sometimes they're not even trying, and people either want to follow them or they want to fight them. You know exactly who I'm talking about, don't you? Okay, so if you're going to lead a lion, you have to understand them first. And that means we need to bust a few myths that we all have about what power and leadership are supposed to look like. This is where most of us get it wrong. We have this image in our heads of the lion as the lone king of the jungle, this symbol of raw, solitary power. But in the real world, that's not how it works at all. Lions are deeply social animals. They live, they hunt, they survive as part of a pride. Their power is never absolute. It's always being tested and negotiated within the group. And that really gets to the heart of it. A lion's power isn't hidden away. It's visible, it's exposed. So yeah, they're admired and respected, but because their power is so out in the open, they are constantly being challenged. People are always testing them. Sound familiar? It's exactly like The Office. So you might be thinking, okay, if they're so complicated, why even bother? Well, because lions are both your company's most precious asset and its biggest risk. The stakes are just incredibly high. Let's be really clear about this. You absolutely need lions on your team. They're the ones who step up and take responsibility when everyone else is stepping back. They don't shy away from the spotlight. Their energy attracts other amazing talent. And in a crisis, when everything's on fire, they're the ones who hold the line. They say the hard things and they force a decision. But, and this is a big but, every lion comes with a giant warning label. If you mismanage them, it's going to go one of three ways. 1, they become a tyrant, just crushing everyone in their path. 2, they turn into a rebel, basically building their own little kingdom right inside your company. Or 3, they leave. And believe me, when a lion leaves, they almost never leave alone. Now, this is a really important point. We see that intensity and we immediately think arrogance. But it's crucial to understand that it's not always about that. For a lot of leaders, especially women or people from underrepresented backgrounds, that big ego is actually a suit of armor. It's a defense mechanism they had to build just to be heard and respected in a culture that wasn't built for them. So this is the big mental shift we have to make. The goal is not to tame them. It's not to make them quieter. That is a losing battle, my friend. The real question, the one every leader should be asking, is this. How do we build a culture, a frame that's strong enough to contain all that incredible power and channel it for good? And that brings us right to the playbook. Let's get into 5 concrete, actionable strategies you can start using to lead the lions on your team. All right, here's the framework. It's 5 steps. 1, define the territory. 2, confront with respect. 3, give them real challenges. 4, ask them to protect, not just win. And 5, have your own backbone. Okay, let's break each of these down. First up, territory. Look, lions actually respect clear boundaries. So don't be vague. Give them a really clear scope, clear decision rights, and be just as clear about the limits, the lines they cannot cross. A lion can handle a firm yes or a firm no. The one thing they cannot stand is confusion. So what happens when a lion crosses a line? The absolute worst thing you can do is avoid the conversation. They'll smell your fear a mile away, and you will lose their respect instantly. No, you have to confront them directly, privately, and with respect. Try saying something like this. Your results are strong, but this behavior is damaging the pride. See, you're not attacking them as a person. You're just holding them accountable for their impact. Number 3, a bored lion is a dangerous lion. Seriously, if you give them safe, boring, repetitive work, all that massive energy is going to turn destructive. They'll either check out completely or they'll start creating drama just to stay interested. So give them your biggest, hardest, most complex problems. They need a real mission to stay focused. This one is about expanding their perspective. A lot of lions think their job is just to win, to hit the target. Your job as their leader is to show them it's bigger than that. Challenge them to protect the pride. Ask them to use that incredible strength to mentor junior teammates, to defend colleagues, to make room for other voices. You're turning their power into a positive cultural force. And finally, number 5, this one might be the most important of all. You cannot lead a lion if you aren't grounded yourself. If you try to appease them, you're prey. If you try to fight them, you're just starting a war you can't win. The only position that works is calm, firm, and centered. You're not their rival, you're not their friend. You are the leader who is responsible for the entire pride. All right, so we've laid out the playbook. Now it's time to turn all this insight into action and make it real for you and your organization. So, I want you to think for a second. Who popped into your head while we've been talking? Who are the lions in your world? And then ask yourself this, honestly. Are they pulling in the same direction as everybody else, or are they off building their own thing? And let's go one level deeper. Let's flip the perspective. From their point of view, do they feel genuinely led by you, or do they feel like they're just being used for their results? And here's the million-dollar question. If that lion walked out the door tomorrow, what and who would they take with them? The answer to that question tells you everything. Look, at the end of the day, lions aren't the problem. They are an incredible source of power, of courage, and they are a magnet for talent. The final takeaway is this. You don't have to tame your lions. You just have to be a leader who's strong enough and clear enough and brave enough to walk beside them.